Alright, hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different than usual. No, today is not a recording of, a old story reading. But you could probably tell by the title that we're playing a Minecraft mod pack. An old one, Blightfall. It's a particular favourite of mine from the 1.7.10 days. Basically, you are on this planet absolutely covered in the Thumbcraft taint. And, well, you've got to fix it, pretty much. You've got to fix the world. Let's see. Let's call this YouTube series World. No point. Of course, no tinkering settings. A fully customized, handmade map for the mod pack. Alright, so let's get this world making. Might take a little bit to go in, I don't know. I think it made it fairly fast to make the world in the beginning. Oh, look at that, we're already in. Alright, we've got our quest book. How about I read out the story content here? You know what? Let's make this a little bit larger behind you so you can read along if you so choose. Blightfall. It looked like a perfect planet, smack in the Goldilocks zone, full of minerals, and even complete with pre-existing plant and animal life. When the scientists at Space Command saw the scan results, their jaws hit the floor. Plans to make a colony ship started that day. 4 years later, the starship Jaded set out on her maiden journey. But now that we've arrived, it's clear that things are not as they first appeared. A seething, teeming purple biomass covers the surface, spewing forth malign alien entities that cruelly murdered the initial scouts. We aren't sure if the scans were wrong, if something happened in the few years it took to warp here, or if Space Command was just lying to us, but this is not the paradise we were promised. We're leaving the rest of the colonists in cryostasis for now, and sending you down to the surface as our last attempt before giving up and taking the jaded intercolonists back to homeworld. We've got little to offer you besides a glass bioshelter to keep the aliens out. Resources are limited, and we're only willing to invest so much more into what will probably be a failed expedition. But, if you're resourceful and lucky, perhaps we can find a way to make this colony work, after all. Alright, taking inventory. As you can see, I've played this before. We've got the classic, is this NEI? Yeah, NEI, not enough items. And we've got Wayla, we've got... Of course, we're starting off here on our ship, the Jaded. Here's this, look at that, there's little items flowing through those item ducts. It's very cool, didn't notice those were there before. In my old world. So we go to the situation room. There's a big old map of the world. Hello, Captain Shiitake. You're up! Good, we need you. This planet has not been kind to the other scouts. What happened? Some went insane and turned on their companions. Some were hunted by swarms of alien insects. Some were brutally murdered by, alien chickens. For a lack of a better description. At any rate, you are our final hope. So, what do I do, Captain? See that view screen over there? The red, pulsating parts are filled with a purple alien biomass hostile to terrestrial life. We need you to find a way to get rid of it. As you clear away the alien biomass, come back up here from time to time. You can run another scan whenever you want to see how much progress you've made. How do I rescan? Right-click the top of the scanner block to rescan. The scanner block is the one set into the table in the middle. The scan might take a few minutes. Feel free to wander off while you wait. And how do you track progress? There are 2 ways to monitor your progress. The best way is to look at the gauges on the walls of this room. Each of the 24 gauges represents a different area of the continent. As you clean the area, the gauges will light up. Okay. Light up. Also, if you click there on the side of the scanner, you can open up a window that will let you print badges that represent your progress. They'll fit great in item frames or look great when hung up on drying racks. As you clean more of the planetary surface, more badges become available to print. In fact, you can get your first participation badge by just running a scan. Bronze badges, you say? No, you absolutely cannot melt down your bronze badge just to make a pickaxe head. Those medals were given to you by your country. Wear them with pride or don't bother printing them. Okay, fine. So you see, look at here. There is some sort of gauge. This one looks like a desert. Stuff like, oh, mountains, a forest, I presume. Different ocean regions and all sorts. Well, islands and so there we go. Mushroom Island. Okay. Whoa. That's funny, look at that. It disappears. Anyway, let's talk to you again. Welcome back. Do you need something? I'm just here to chat. Wait, really? I thought that players these days didn't want to bother with anything that didn't directly further the plot. You seriously just want to talk? Yeah, totally. I'm flattered. Really flattered. But, I actually don't have all that much to say. I'm kind of embarrassed now. But no! This sort of exploration must be incentivized. Tell you what, next time you come by, I'll give you some of my rations. I hope it'll tide you over when you need it most. Thanks, you're great. Okay. Now, we could look around the ship more, but I think that would be better served for future series. So instead, let's go up and talk to the person we were looking at right as we entered the video, the world. Mirabelle Hackett. Just step into one of these pods to get started. If you're on a team, make sure to use the same drop pod as the rest of your team. Let's have a look around at the different drop pods before we ask about them. We have drop pod alpha, blue, drop pod beta, green, drop pod gamma, yellow, drop pod delta, which is sort of orange, drop pod epsilon in red, and drop pod omega in black. Okay. Which one? So pod alpha used to be a grassland, probably the easiest place to start. Beta heads to the savannah, which is a little more difficult. Gamma puts you in a taiga. Delta drops you off in some clay arches. Epsilon puts you in the middle of a desert. Omega is by far the hardest, dropping you off in a biodome under the ocean. If you're alone, it's recommended to go to pod alpha. Okay. Any advice? Okay, so hunger can be a problem. Purple biomass will hurt you but can't kill you if you stay well fed. Scouting expeditions gets good, yes. Okay. That's right. Notice something about a varied diet. Let's look at our quest book here. The instructor. Nope. Can't do that first. First of all, the scout quest line is to register as a team. Well, he said that Team Alpha is recommended if you're playing solo. So how about we hop right into that? We'll hop into this little thing. You will be assigned to Team Alpha. The team is sent to the most arable biodome, closest to the center of the continent. Its central location will make all exploration quests much easier. Alien ores under the starting location make early progress easier. Do you wish to proceed? Yes. Very well. Initiating transportation sequence. Whoop! And here we are. We're in a nice little biodome. Click on this. Now we can teleport here. If we find more of these teleporter beacons, we can jump between them. So we could jump all the way back up to the ship anytime we want. Now, warning. Looting the Jaded or breaking and placing blocks aboard is prohibited by executive mandate. Violators will be looked at sternly and accused of cheating. So, I can't just come with a bucket and steal the molten cobalt, or a pickaxe and steal the diamond blocks that build things here. Which I think is very reasonable. I'm not going to do that. If anything else, it's not as fun as finding all those materials myself. So, our quest book here says to gather a piece of dirt to confirm our arrival. Now we need to request our starter sampling. This here, I have an oak sapling. Hold on. Let's actually read through the instructor's little note here thing before we go further. Hello, my name is Dr. Fairchild, and I have been instructed to, instruct you. My tasks will teach you the basics of how to survive on this hostile alien planet. It should be easy to complete and give you a good foundation for further exploration. What is this thing? This device, in addition to letting you communicate to the leadership aboard the Jaded, can also transmit items to us by breaking them down into data and beaming them to us. You can receive items the same way. It's technology based on ME networks, but more limited. Try sending us a dirt block by breaking one nearby, returning to this menu, and hitting the manual submit button. If you lose the book, you can craft a new one. Requisitioning items. You're going to need to see the requisition officer, Corporal Driscoll. He'll give you items to help you in your mission, using the same interface you used here. Why don't you ask for a starter sapling? Right-click until you get to the crew menu, then click on the supplier to enter Driscoll's menu. Ask for a sapling from him, then show it to me, and I'll tell you what to do next. We go into here. I have an oak sapling straight from the homeworld that you can have. This one won't cost any goodwill because we can't reasonably expect you to start a colony without giving you a tree. After that, if you want to dig deeper into our emergency agricultural supply, it'll come to the attention of the leadership, so try not to ask for too much. So you see here, we have... That's right, we have this reputation mechanic. So basically, we can buy and spend reputation, but we can get reputation points from quests, and we can spend them with the supplier to unlock... to request free items that we... Not free items, we can use our reputation points to buy items if we're in a pinch. Now we have our starter sapling, so we detect it and take 2 stacks of bone meal. Getting wood. As you have probably heard, the planet is mostly covered by a poisonous, hostile purple biomass. We dropped you in one of the few spots that seemed safe. I think it has something to do with that silver tree in the center of your containment area. Better not chop it down, that could be disastrous. Instead, use the bone meal I gave you to grow the sapling you got from Driscoll and use its wood to start crafting. I may not read out every single quest description or anything like that, but at least for now. Well, we'll see. If people ask me to keep reading them out every time, I very happily will, because I intend to make these episodes on this thing long term. I've noticed we're 12 minutes in and only now am I punching down my first tree, so maybe I wouldn't read absolutely everything out loud. So we need to make ourselves a happy little crafting table. Crafting table. Oh, farming. Okay, so once per day we can be given free bone meal. So we get 1 point of reward. So we have 2 choices. We can either follow some tutorials on how to make Tinker's Constructs tools, or if you already know how to do it, you can make the 2 types of tools that the guide will lead you through, and then you can just get right into it. I know exactly what I'm doing here, so I am just going to choose the skip the tutorial option. There we go. No, don't want to put it too close to the silverwood tree. I'll put it there. There we go. So, basically what we're going to do is we have to make a few little crafting stations, and we have to make ourselves an axe head, a shovel head, a pickaxe head, and a little tool binding in order to make it right. But first, we're going to take this crafting table, turn it into a crafting station. Which, there's no real difference immediately, but this is like a crafting table, except if you have a chest beside it, you can use the items in the chest. So with sticks and planks, we can make patterns. We don't need the stencil table. What we need is a part builder, a pattern chest, and then a crafting table with the blank pattern gives us a tool station. So if we put down the pattern chest and the part builder, we can access the chest from it. So you see, it comes with all of these patterns already done. There are more that we don't get for free, which you will need the stencil table to make, but we can't use any of them other tools just now, so that's perfectly fine. And I'll stick this here. Oh! Some pigs! That'll be good to have some friendly, non-evil animals around. I'm glad. For now, though, let's get to crafting. So, what we need are... We need ourselves one wooden pickaxe head, one wooden axe head, a wooden shovel head, and a wooden tool binding. So if we then take these to our tool station, put it into pickaxe mode, we can take the head, the binding, and a stick. You can also craft a wooden tool rod, but the stick works perfectly fine. Make a wooden pickaxe, and here we can use our axe head and our shovel to make a mattock, which lets us, well, it says here, see, it can mine through trees, it can mine through dirt, and, well, we can use it to start farming. Pickaxe is a pickaxe, very obviously. We get this book. Materials, the classical tools and weapons guide. Okay, so basically this book, as you can see, we unlock items as we get different materials. We will be able to read up a book on a book what sort of Tinker's Construct properties they have, which I think is perfectly fine. We can also buy this book on resource collection, which I do not intend to do. Let's see. That's number 4, so we'll put it in space. Actually, maybe we will. But for now, the quest line wants us to get flint pickaxe head and to try to make bread. Oh, our scout. Okay, so we've registered as our team. We can do that. We're going to focus on this. What we're going to focus on. So in the supplier, we can buy emergency food in the form of nutrient bars, which notably, this mod will be able to spend some of a reputation on some seeds. Let's see what we get. Cabbages! How nice. So, this mod pack has a mod in it with a mechanic that requires you to have a varied diet, or your food will give you less food over time. Which can be a little bit annoying, which, you know, whatever. That's fine. So what we really want to get ourselves a variety of different foods. Oh, the tree grew. Well, let's cut it down. Completely honestly, I'm probably going to make a separate axe once we have better materials, rather than using a mattock, because in my personal experience with the mod pack, I don't think mattocks quite work properly when you upgrade the shovel end. Let's see. Yeah, this is slightly faster, but there we go. So we just need to get some flint. One to make a flint pickaxe head, but let's grab some more gravel just while we're here. What is salt? There's also all of these different types. There's this different type of stone here. There's 2 different types of stone already. Neither of which are the standard Minecraft stone. So we will take our flint. And there we go. Up. Daily bone meal. We'll claim the pickaxe head. Oh, we'll claim the reward for the pickaxe head. Getting past. So, you know, my executive mandate 2625B only prohibits the construction of gold, iron, stone, wood, and diamond tools. Copper and most other unconventional metals can all be crafted into tools just as normal. Making tools the normal way means they can be enchanted on an enchanting table. Eventually, we'll be able to melt down metals in the smeltery and make them Dr. Dio's way instead. That way uses less material and makes the tool easier to upgrade and repair. It's up to you to determine which is better. So if we can get our hands on some copper, we can get an easy 3 reputation points by making a regular pickaxe out of it. Unfortunately, copper is a little bit rare, so we might want to find an alternative means of progression if we can. There's all of these books on tool material. Classical tool materials. Modular tool materials a second. There we go. Let's claim another seed bag while we're here. Oh, a chestnut tree sapling. We might want to make ourselves chests. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, let's make ourselves a happy little chest. And shove these materials inside. Then we can upgrade our pickaxe to be made of flint. Now let's take another one. We need that variety. Oh, an apple sapling. Well, let's see. We'll want to find somewhere to plant that. How about here? That should be fine. So when this grows, we should be able to fairly consistently get apple trees. Oh, and basic seeds. There we go. One of our quests was to make bread, was it not? Yes. Because we expect this land would be fertile, our ready-to-eat food stores are limited. Corporal Driscoll can only give you access to our emergency rations, but if we intend to establish a permanent presence here, we'll need to set up a stable farm. We've got seeds in the jade if you need them, but we're hoping the land is fertile enough that you can find some seeds in the nearby grass. Send us a loaf of fresh baked bread when you have one to spare. Fresh food would lighten the whole. Note, we're not asking for primitive bread. So if we take our seeds here and grow a bunch of wheat. And if we go and try to craft bread, it becomes primitive bread, not regular bread. What we want is to make fancy bread. But to make fancy bread, we will need... Well, why don't we have a look and see how you can make bread? You can craft it, or you can smelt flour. Let's see, how do we make flour? So we need this mortar and pestle. We need to grind up the bread, and for that we need stone and sticks. That seems perfectly reasonable to me. But so in exchange for going through this process, you get to turn 1 wheat into 1 bread instead of 3 wheat into 1 bread. So it's teaching us how to make our food stretch further in the form of a funny little quest. Oh, look at that purple slime. That must be one of the biomass life forms I was talking about. I say that must as if I don't know what's going on. But yeah, look at that little guy. We'll keep away. We'll keep well away from him. It's very cute though. It's very cute though, so maybe not so bad. Okay, so if we make ourselves a furnace, let's stick it here. We'll cook up that stone. Now we'll need 3, but we'll probably need more stone later. Whoa! Chicken. And we can start turning this into gravel. Turn this gravel into more flint. Let's grow you up. There you go. So you see, look at this. Apples grow off the tree. They give a little bit less than usual, a little bit less hunger than usual. But that's fine. It's part of this whole hunger overhaul mod. We can make plenty of stuff out of them. Jeweled apples, golden apples. With various materials, we can put them into mince pies. We could make an apple pie. Caramel apple. You could use them as an ingredient in fruit salad. Fruit punch. Yeah, there's plenty. Look at all these things going on here. Of course, we would need more food, more ingredients to be able to make actual food. Oh, look at that. We're going for an hour and a half. Oh, we're going for like half an hour almost. Let's see here. Let's set a particular goal. Well, the scout here, learning to scout. So it says, where is it? Like, I know I could just check the coordinates, but I think it's about here. There we go, and get the piece of dirt under our feet. Alright, so I think, while we're waiting, aha, there we go, it's done smelting. I was just about to say. Whilst we are here, let's consider. I think we can... How about we make ourselves this bread and see what other quests unlock? Because we have the scout, we have the supplier. This geologist here wants some samples of stone. So how about we get ourselves this bread going here? Let's get enough. Let's make sure we have enough to get full use out of our piece of coal. So we'll get... There we go. We'll bake this bread, submit it, and perhaps we will call the episode there. But for now, let's take a look and see what we can get from the supplier. Let's request some more seeds for our farm, and if we get a sapling, we might get lucky, get something fancy. Oh, a barley seed bag that plants in a 3x3 area. That's a lot of seeds. And a rubber sapling from Mine Factory Reloaded. We'll want to keep that nice and safe. Because well, once we get into doing like technology factory if we get into doing like technological factory things, you'll want a lot of rubber. I would, well. Oh, this is done. Our tool needs a repair. So we have wood. There we go. So let's fix up this tool. There we go. And we'll use our barley seed bag here. There we go! Look at that! It's a whole little field going. Okay, fine. We'll claim one more of each. I don't want to use too much. Oh, only an oak sapling. An aubergine seed. Okay, there we go. Plant that. So now we've got 3 different crops going. Technically 4, but barley's used for most of the same things as wheat. So we've really got 3 different crops going. An apple tree, and we could plant a chestnut tree if I have the space. Along with these helpful little animals. I think our food supply is fairly well sorted for now. So let us send them up our piece of bread. And if we can make... okay. So we have a quest to make a little variety of different meals. Okay, that makes sense. So on the scout, we'll have scouting missions. First mountain mission is to travel to the swamp. There is a swamp in the mid-southwest of the continent. It might have sugarcane you can use for some of Dr. Sprouts' tasks. It comes from an easily obtained... Oh, it contains an easily obtained alien metal that can mine gold. And bitumen you can craft into rubber. For some teams, this will be an easy trip. For others, it might be a bit of a hike. Bring a boat, it'll probably help. Because the location is so central, it seems like it'll make a good early scouting point for any team. Well, having had a look at that, I don't know about you, but I would say that our order of operations should perhaps be to prepare for the scouting to the swamp, which, according to our map, will be this region. This central region right here. I'm circling around in my mouse. Because if we look here, it looks to me that there's another one of these trees and like a little safe spot on the island. There's also a safe spot directly south of us, among other areas. Look at this. There's villages over here. There's more Look, there's one of the other biodomes. There's islands, all sorts of things. Plenty of places to explore, but our goal for the foreseeable future, I believe, should be to target this one right here, the swamp. So we can set a waypoint marker here and call it swamp. Now we alright, so I've exited out. We've got that there. And I'd like to say that our goal for next episode will be to prepare and do our expedition to the swamp. But for now, I think we've made a decent amount of progress, and it's been half an hour. Let's call that for the first video. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.